Today I have in front of me the YRD420-ZW4. This is a brand new lock from Yale that features the 800 series Z-Wave hardware, a fingerprint reader, as well as support for Z-Wave long range. What's unique about this lock is that it's the first Z-Wave lock to support the user credential command class. This is a brand new command class that was created to provide a standard way to manage user credentials. This means that instead of having to use a separate app to set up things like fingerprints, you can set up everything directly over Z-Wave. In this video, I'm going to unbox the lock, set it up, then show you some useful automations inside a Home Assistant. Inside the box, we have some documentation, the 800 series Z-Wave module, the exterior keypad, the interior lock assembly, a mounting plate, some batteries, and the hardware kit. Rekeying Lock is really simple. As you can see from the unboxing video, you have easy access to the cylinder. All you have to do is remove the single screw to pull out the key cylinder. Once you have the cylinder, you can take it to a locksmith to have it rekeyed. The documentation provided really clear instructions, which made installing the lock really easy. The first thing I did was install the deadbolt latch and then secure it with these deadbolt screws. I then installed the keypad by sliding the wiring cable underneath the deadbolt and sliding the lock tail into the deadbolt slot. From here, I secured the keypad to the door by installing the mounting plate. I simply set my cable to the hole, made sure my pins lined up, and then screwed it in. They do provide several screws, so make sure you pick the correct size for your door thickness. From here, I attached the cable to the interior lock assembly, then attach the interior lock assembly to the mounting plate. The last thing you need to do is secure the interior lock assembly to the mounting plate by screwing in a retaining screw that's located in the battery compartment. Once that is done, you can turn the thumb turner to make sure everything operates smoothly. Then install the batteries and the Z-Wave module. When you first power the lock on, it's going to play the startup sound. Followed by an error sound and keypad animation. This is to let you know that the lock is unusable until you set up a programming code and perform lock handling. To set up a programming code and perform lock handling with the keypad, you simply hold the passage button down until the lock clicks twice. On the keypad, hit the number 1 button, then the menu button. Then enter in the pin that you want to use for the programming code and tap the menu button. The keypad will then replay the code that was just entered. Play a sound to confirm that it was saved, and then perform lock handling. Now that the programming code is set up, the first thing I want to show you is how to access the programming menu. The programming menu is where you go to manage your user codes and fingerprints, as well as make changes to your lock settings. To access the programming menu, you wake up the keypad, enter in the programming code, then press the menu button. You can tell that you're at the programming menu by looking at the keypad. All of the numbers should be illuminated except the number 5. Anytime you make changes to a lock setting, the lock will play a sound to confirm that the setting was saved, then display the menu and checkmark buttons. If you need to make more changes to the lock settings, you can press the menu button to go back to the programming menu, or press the checkmark button if you're done. If you need to change the existing programming code, Navigate to the Programming menu. Then press one menu button. From here, enter in your new programming code, then press the menu button. The lock will then replay the code that you just entered. Then play a sound to confirm that it was saved. To include the lock using Smart Start in Home Assistant, you navigate to the Integrations page, click Add Integration, then click Add Z-Wave device. From here, you scan your QR code, give your device a name, choose whether to include the device in mesh mode or long range mode, then click Add Device. Once you power the device on, it would automatically join the network within the next 10 minutes. To add the lock to your existing Z-Wave network using classic inclusion, you simply put Home Assistant into inclusion mode, navigate to the Programming menu on the lock, then press 7 menu button, 1 menu button. The keypad will display the following animation to let you know it's in inclusion mode. Then you get a prompt on your screen asking for the DSK. Once you enter in the correct DSK, the lock will play a sound to confirm that it was successfully paired to the network. To exclude the lock from your Z-Wave network, you put your hub into exclusion mode. Then on the lock, navigate to the Programming menu and press 7 menu button, 3 menu button. The lock will display an animation to let you know it's in exclusion mode. Then play a sound once it's been successfully excluded from the network. It's important to note that when you factory reset the lock, it will delete all your saved key codes and fingerprints. To factory reset the lock, you simply remove one battery, press and hold the reset button using the reset pin, reinsert the battery, then release the reset button once you start to see the keypad cycle through the different numbers. The keypad will turn off and then play the following animation and sounds to indicate that the factory reset was successful. To enroll a fingerprint on a lock, navigate to the Programming menu, then press 2 menu button, 4 menu button. This will take you to the fingerprint enrollment screen. Every time you successfully scan a fingerprint, the LED indicator above the fingerprint scanner will turn green. If a fingerprint scan fails, it will turn red. In order to save your fingerprint, you will need to scan it 12 times. The numbers on the keypad will light up to help you keep track of your progress. Once you successfully scan your fingerprint 12 times, the lock will play a sound to confirm that the fingerprint was saved. Now all I have to do to unlock the lock is touch the fingerprint reader until the LED indicator turns green. You can also use your fingerprint to lock the door, but you have to disable one-touch locking. To add a PIN code, navigate to the Programming menu. Then press 2 menu button, 1 menu button. Next, enter in the PIN code that you want to add to the lock and press the menu button. The lock will then replay the PIN that you just entered, then play a sound to confirm that it was saved. If you try to add an existing PIN that's already in use, you will get the following error message. To delete a PIN code, navigate to the Programming menu, then press 2 menu button, 3 menu button. From here, enter in the PIN code that you want to delete, then press the menu button again. The keypad will replay the PIN that you just entered, and then the lock will play a sound to confirm that the PIN was deleted. To manage your user codes in Home Assistant, you need to use Z-Wave UI. Simply open up Z-Wave UI, navigate to your lock settings, then expand the user code section. To add a user code, just type in a 4 to 8 digit PIN in any of the empty user code slots, then click Send. To delete a PIN, just change the corresponding user ID status from enabled to available and click Send. One of the cool things you can do with your PIN codes is set them to message mode. Normally when you enter in your PIN, it unlocks the door and then sends an event to your hub. When you set your PIN to message mode, it only sends an event to your hub. This is useful for times when you want to use your lock events to trigger automations, but don't want to actually unlock your door. Vacation mode disables the keypad and fingerprint reader so that no one can unlock the door while you're on vacation. You can enable vacation mode in Home Assistant by setting parameter 8 to keypad disable mode. This is what it looks like when you try to unlock the door with vacation mode enabled. In addition to getting this keypad animation, an event is sent to Home Assistant. To configure vacation mode using the keypad, navigate to the Programming menu, then press 6 menu button. From here, you can press 1 to enable vacation mode or press 3 to disable it. Auto relocking is a feature that automatically relocks the lock after a set period of time, or when the lock's built-in door sensor detects that the door is closed. To manage the auto relock settings in Home Assistant, you need to configure parameters 2 and 3. Parameter 2 lets you enable or disable auto relocking, and parameter 3 lets you specify the relocking time. To enable auto relocking and set the relock time using the keypad, navigate to the Programming menu, then press 3 menu button, 1 menu button, and 1 menu button again. From here, enter in the number of seconds that you want your relock time to be, then press the menu button. The lock will then play a sound to confirm that the setting was saved. Since I set my auto relock time to 3 seconds, when I unlock my lock, it will automatically relock itself 3 seconds later. To disable auto relock using the keypad, navigate to the programming menu, then press 3 menu button, 1 menu button, then 3 menu button. The lock will play a sound to confirm auto relock was disabled. Now if I unlock the lock, it will not automatically relock itself. As I showed you earlier, you can configure the lock to automatically lock itself. Passage mode temporarily disable the auto relock functionality so that you can keep the door unlocked for an extended period of time. To enable passage mode, simply unlock the door using your preferred method, then hold down the passage button until you hear 2 clicks. Then when you want to disable passage mode and lock the door, simply hold down the passage button until once again you hear 2 clicks. One-touch locking lets you quickly lock the door by touching the fingerprint reader. This feature works even if your fingerprint hasn't been enrolled in the lock. To enable or disable one-touch locking using the keypad, navigate to the programming menu, then press 3 menu button, 3 menu button. From here, you can press 1 to enable one-touch locking or 3 to disable it. You can also enable or disable one-touch locking in Home Assistant by editing parameter 11. If you disable one-touch locking, it lets you lock the door using a registered fingerprint. You can tell that your fingerprint was used to lock the door because the LED indicator above the scanner will turn green. If you try to use a non-registered fingerprint to lock the door, the LED indicator will turn red. Anytime you use the keypad or actuate the lock, the ZW4 makes some sort of sound. You can adjust or disable the sound volume in Home Assistant by configuring parameter 1. The default volume is set to high, but you can set it to low or silent. To change the sound volume using the keypad, navigate to the programming menu, then press 4 menu button. From here, you will press 1 to set the volume to high, press 2 to set the volume to low, or press 3 to set the volume to silent. Once you've made your selection, press the menu button. The lock will then play a sound to confirm that the setting was saved. It's important to note that these settings don't apply to the programming menu. While using the programming menu, the lock will still continue to make sounds. The lock has a status LED indicator that flashes every 10 seconds to let you know the status of the lock. The LED indicator will flash blue if the batteries are low, red if the door is locked, green if the door is unlocked, or yellow if the door is in passage mode. You can enable or disable the LED indicator in Home Assistant by adjusting parameter 19. To manage the LED indicator using the keypad, navigate to the programming menu, then press 3 menu button, then 2 menu button. From here, you can press 1 in the menu button to enable the LED indicator, or press 3 in the menu button to disable it. As usual, the lock plays a sound to confirm that the setting was saved. One of my favorite things about Z-Wave locks is that they generate a lot of events that you can use in your automations. As you can see from the Yale documentation, this lock has over 30 different events that it generates. In addition to that, you also get separate events for each fingerprint and PIN code that you register. Using these events in your automation is really straightforward. What you want to do is go to the Developer Tools Events tab, then listen to Z-Wave JS notifications. As you interact with the lock, you will start to see events show up here. For your automation, you want to select manual event as your trigger, then copy and paste the data from the event viewer. zwave_js_notification goes in the event type field. Then you can copy everything after data and before origin and paste it in the data field. Now if I generate that same event, you can see it triggers my automation. The only two things that I don't like about the Yale lock are their door sensor and the pricing. Even though the lock comes with a door sensor, there's no obvious way to set it up, so I assume this functionality is not supported. When the lock first came out, you could only buy it from ADT as part of a starter bundle for $350, which is really expensive. For that price, you could have gotten a car U400, which on paper seems like the better lock. I have been able to find this exact model Yale lock on eBay for $100, but with eBay, there's no guarantee that the item will be in stock. The only way I was able to get one was by going on eBay and checking almost every day. Just to recap everything that I mentioned earlier, the YRD420-ZW4 has the latest Z-Wave 800 hardware, has support for Z-Wave long range. You can set up all your fingerprints and lock settings from the keypad without needing a separate app. It looks good, has good battery life. Plus, if you look on eBay, you can sometimes find them for $100, which is a really good deal. Overall, if you're looking for a Z-Wave lock with fingerprint support, this Yale lock is going to be your best option in 2026.